Welcome to Saturday Night Protection Live with your host, Christopher Gelson, the director and lead teacher of Protect Your Children Incorporated. We are a not-for-profit based down in Tampa, Florida area. We're glad that you are here tonight. Yes, it is time to talk. Parents and guardians, we need to talk. It absolutely is time. There are so many children now losing their innocence, being victimized, and even some that are losing their life because the people in their lives are not protecting them. And we'll tell you that as an organization whose mission is to protect children from predators online and in the community, predators, by the way, this is very frustrating to us. Very, very frustrating because, for example, we know that there's been now a little over 300 reported cases of teachers abusing their students. And that's just this school year. Okay. Now that's just been what's reported. And if anybody knows stats about child sexual abuse, you know that it's underreported, way underreported. So of those 300, how many cases do you think involved social media? I wish I had the Jeopardy music going right now. How about all of them? Every single one of them, the teacher has been communicating with the child on social media. And most of the time, it is for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 months. 6 months of communications and images and videos and grooming and threats and all this other stuff going back and forth with the kids on their phones, on their game systems, their devices, and the parents and guardians had no idea. Now, who are we blaming here? Are we blaming the predators? Absolutely. They're evil scum. Absolutely. But at the same time, as we've been saying, these sexual predators do not have victims unless they come from someone's home, unless they come from some place where parents and guardians, grandparents, other people, teachers that are not abusing kids, other people like that are supposed to be watching them. And if those people are not involved in the child's life, in their communications, all up in their devices, in their phones, and monitoring these things, then you have victims. And so we're going to cover a lot of stuff tonight, and we're glad that you are here watching live on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble as well. Marie T is in the house. She's our co-director. Marie T is awesome. We're glad to see you here. Rising on Eagles Wings is in the chat. And that's all for the chat right now. So, but there are a bunch of people I can see watching on Rumble and Twitter and Facebook as well. Facebook, you can comment and we'll see your comments right here. Rumble and YouTube, not so much, unfortunately, but we will see your comments after the fact. So, yeah, we're going to talk to parents and guardians tonight because this is really getting out of control. There are so many kids, so many cases, so many different situations that could have been prevented. Let's just come right out and say it. This is coming down to parental responsibility. Now, some parents and guardians, they don't know. They don't know how to protect their kids. We totally get it. We are all about education and awareness. I mean, those people could go back to our Facebook profile, go to our YouTube channel, go to our website, protectyourchildren.org, look at the live podcast. They can learn so much on how to protect their kids and how to prevent this from happening. They can learn all that. They can go to the Googles, to the internets, to the interwebs, and they can find tons of information. There is absolutely no excuse for kids being groomed and victimized on social media or in their schools. There's no excuse for this. And it's happening long term because parents and guardians are not asking the right questions. They're not looking for the warning signs. They're not involved as much as they need to be. And we're going to get into that tonight, along with some very good information on how to keep your kids safe from these evil predators. It's a lot. It is a lot. But we're going to jump into that tonight. So All right. Our website, as I just mentioned, protectyourchildren.org, protectyourchildren.org. Please check that out. Want to direct you to our live stream podcast page, which is, if you scroll down, it's right here. You can click on that, see all our live shows, all the podcasts, all the links to the YouTube live videos are there. Or, of course, you could just go to our YouTube channel and click on the live tab, and you can see all of our live shows. Let me tell you what, the more educated you are, the more aware you are, the more you're going to protect your children. Bottom line, these predators are working together. They're coordinating. They've got PDF manuals, for crying out loud. Okay. They're on the dark web, working with each other, communicating, teaching each other how to abuse kids without getting caught, how to groom children, how to fool parents. They are working so hard to commit their evil against the innocence of our children that we need to be working harder. We need to be putting the education and the awareness in as many places as possible and teaching our children. You click on the menu of our website, protectyourchildren.org. There is a in-depth protection guideline. This is a 12-section in-depth protection packet in Spanish or English. And this information will teach you and your children how to identify predators, how to be safe from them, where to look online, the tricks, the traps, the threats. All of those things can be found in this 12-section protection packet. It's in PDF form. You can download it, print it, keep it up on your screen, look at it every day, dream about it, whatever you need to do. Just look at the information and share it with your children. Zachary Bernhardt has a page on our website, all the information relating to that case. We see a lot of you are still very interested in what's happening with that case. Tips on preventing kidnapping, other topical podcasts. Look at child protection videos, how to protect your kids online, how to protect your kids from kidnapping, zip code predator searches. You want to see who's been arrested in your neighborhood, living near your children? Okay, zip code predator searches, how to set up parental controls on your children's devices, step by step, all available on our website, protectyourchildren.org. So please check it out tonight or tomorrow, or even right now, if you still can listen to the show. Please check that out. All right. All that good stuff is going on there. See, we got our watch count going up. We're very glad that people are joining us a little bit late, but that's all right. You haven't missed much, except how awesome our website is and how jam-packed with information on how to keep your kids safe it is. So check out our website, protectyourchildren.org. So tonight is going to be a little bit in your face. Okay. And listen, we mean no disrespect. We understand parenting is hard. We understand that there's situations with families where there's divorces and custody battles and moms that are working 2 jobs. We get it. We understand that it's tough. But all we can tell you is that anybody who has time to, any parent that has time to go on TikTok or go on Facebook or go on Instagram and scroll and make videos and post, if you have time to do that, you have time to get into your kid's phone and go on their social medias and look at their messages and see what they're doing. There is no excuse to not be doing that. Not at all. And it's time to step up and do it, because I'm telling you, the most frustrating thing out there is when you love kids as much as we do and you want to see them protected. And then you hear about these cases that continue to show up every single day. And then you read into the article and the first thing you see is Snapchat, TikTok, Discord, Facebook, Kick, all these different apps that these kids are using to communicate with predators, being groomed by them, threatened by them. And you see, the next thing you see is that it's been going on for months and months and months. And your first question is, how did no one see this? Do parents not know how to find the messages? Do they not know how to see who their kids are talking to online? Then send a message to us. We'll show you. We'll walk you through it step by step. But it's really not that difficult. Parents, if you can go to your messages on Instagram or TikTok or any of those and look at your direct messages, then you know how to go to your child's direct messages and take a look. You know how to look at their friends list by getting into their account. This isn't that difficult. Speaking of Instagram, we just found out today, and we thought something was going on last night because we were trying to post last night and it wasn't working. So then today we get notification that Instagram, pedogram as we call it, has suspended our Protect Your Children account on Instagram. Yes, they have suspended our account for violating community guidelines in the area of, you ready for this? In the area of child exploitation. Yes, so the organization that's pointing out pedogram and posting reels and videos on how to keep your kids safe from being exploited has now been suspended. And when we tried to appeal it, it keeps giving us the runaround. Oh, your phone number doesn't work. Oh, your email, this, there, put the code in. It's now letting us appeal it at all. So our Instagram account is gone. This is what we're dealing with here. Do they tell you exactly what it was? Did they point to a specific thing and say, hey, in this post, we think you were exploiting a child? No, they don't do that. But they just say, yep, so long, see you later, bye-bye. So we are in the fight of our lives. And we will tell you right now, if Facebook or YouTube should ever get suspended or deleted, go to our website, protectyourchildren.org, send us a message. We will keep contact with you. We have an email list that you can sign up on. Just send us your email. We don't spam you. It's more so we can keep contact with you. So if anything crazy happens, we can send a mass email out to you and let you know where you can find us, let you know where you can find the protection, because we'll never stop. We will find other ways. We will continue to reach you and provide you with education and awareness to keep your kids safe. So if anything would happen to our Facebook or our YouTube and all of a sudden you're like, what the heck happened to Protect Your Children? Go to our website, protectyourchildren.org, send us a message, and we'll be in contact with you. You can even go there tonight and just submit a message and say, hey, this is our email address. Keep in touch, and we'll just add you to the email list, okay? So we're going to make sure we stay connected, especially when we're fighting against these social media companies who just coincidentally we keep talking out against. And now it seems like they're striking back. So, which we kind of figured was going to happen eventually, but when it actually happens, you're shocked. So, all right. In-depth protection guidelines, everything on our website. Please check that out. Now, each week we bring you a hero segment. And tonight, let me tell you, we have a scary situation where a 6-year-old girl was almost kidnapped by somebody claiming to be an ice cream man. But it just so happens there were 3 hero girls that were there and did the right thing and prevented this child from being kidnapped. So how awesome is that? Let's check this out. We'll be right back.
An ordinary summer night, an ice cream truck rolls into a neighborhood.
The kids went to get the ice cream.
Of course the kids raced outside, but little did anyone know trouble wasn't far behind.
Abduction in progress 5 ago in the Meridian Green apartment.
I thought he wasn't a stranger at all. Like, he was a normal person. He gave the toys to the kids, and then he was like, I think, pretending that he isn't a stranger or something.
Shortly after 8:15 Tuesday night, Kent police say a man tried kidnapping a 6-year-old girl.
Yeah.
16-year-old Noor's little cousin.
They were really shocked that, like, what was happening, what happened, like, why did it happen?
According to Kent police, when that ice cream truck pulled into Meridian Green townhomes, the kids naturally followed. That's also when they say a stranger grabbed the 6-year-old by the wrist.
Was picking up small girl who started screaming.
The very thing that drew the kids outside may well have been a blessing. Cops say 3 11-year-old girls, also on their way to get treats, confronted the man, begging him to let the girl go. They started recording on their phones, persisted until he let her go, and they pulled her to safety.
They did the right thing, and they should always do that.
The suspect ran off, but police caught up.
Looks like he might have defensive scratch marks on his arms.
All of the kids safe. Proof that see something, say something works.
Grateful for the people who called the police and caught the guy. Yeah, I didn't thought that he was that kind of person.
In the end, a cautionary tale for every family.
Looks like we're probably going to have PC for abduction.
The suspect was taken to jail. He has not yet been formally charged. We expect that could
Why
happen in
not?
the next couple of days. In Kent, Jim Nelson, King 5 News.
Man, talk about the timing. Talk about the timing, right? These three 11-year-old girls did the right thing. They pulled out their phones, started recording, and telling this guy to let the girl go. But is this what it's come down to right now? We always know that there's been that trick, you know, the, hey, I got ice cream. Hey, can you help me find my lost puppy and stuff like that? And we always know that those tricks are out there. But this guy literally just grabs the 6-year-old by the wrist and is like trying to take her. That's what they're reporting. Why he hasn't been charged yet, we have no idea. But those three 11-year-old girls that helped out are heroes. If it wasn't for them, that little girl may have disappeared and never be seen again. And this just brings up a question. Why in the world are parents letting their young kids, especially girls, go to an ice cream truck down the road or wherever without being protected? Why are they? I mean, don't they know what's going on today? Don't they know that people pose as ice cream people? That they have trucks that are converted into looking like an ice cream truck? You know, throw some ice cream symbols on the side of it, put a fancy name on it, go into a neighborhood, and all the kids are going to run right to them. Why in the world are parents letting their kids go down the block and around the corner to catch the ice cream man in this day and age without any adults? Just saying, parents, guardians, we need to talk. This is the kind of stuff that shouldn't be allowed. And you left it up to three 11-year-old girls to stop this guy, and thank God they did. But come on now. We need to be watching our kids, where they're going and who they're around. This is not the same as it was back in the 50s, ladies and gentlemen. Heck, it's not the same as it was in the 80s. You know, in the 80s and the 90s, we'd run around the whole neighborhood. Don't come home till the streetlights came on and nobody got kidnapped. These days, you can't do that anymore. You can't do it. It's time to wake up and see what's happening. And frankly, we're very frustrated with all this. Marie T, I'm sure she agrees. We see case after case, situation after situation, where kidnappings, grooming, abuse, child sexual abuse, all could be prevented if parents were aware and paying attention. But this is where we're at. Right, each week we do like to bring you the faces of some missing people. Sometimes it's just ones that were submitted to us and somebody said, hey, can you draw attention? And we are proud and happy to do that. We mainly focus on missing kids. As you know, we've been looking for Zachary Bernhardt. We've been looking into the Sebastian Rogers case in Tennessee, which is a very odd case. We'll tell you that. And the other thing is there are so many. We posted a picture earlier this week from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. There are just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids still missing. And those cases are most likely not being worked because they've gotten, quote unquote, old and there's just no money, right? We've been hearing this. There's nobody really looking out to solve these cases. But each week we try to bring you the faces of some, like this precious 16-year-old Annabella Danielle Orth. We mentioned her last week, and we're going to continue to mention her. This is over in Spokane, Washington. Age 16, height 5'2", weight 170, brown hair, brown eyes, tattoos. She's got one on her left leg and one on her right hand. Those are giveaways. You think somebody that looks like her and you see the tattoos on the right hand or on the left leg, then you know. Bella was last seen on May 12th. Yes, that was May 12th, just a couple weeks ago, at the Healing Lodge in Spokane Valley in Washington. She has some medical issues which make her vulnerable. She is not from Spokane and is not familiar with the area. Bella does not have a phone or money with her, which makes her a ripe victim for trafficking. So amateur sleuths out there who've done such great work with the Zachary case, look into this. See if you can search around, search social media, do the things that you guys do and send any information to us or send it to the Spokane County Sheriff's Department. You can see the case numbers right there. You can find this poster online for Annabella Danielle Orth. So please do your thing. Do your thing. And Sebastian Rogers. Interesting. Says a review of surveillance footage of Sebastian Rogers from February 25th in 2024, Hendersonville, Tennessee, suggests that he may be in danger. The reward is now $447,000. Dog the Bounty Hunter's involved. The Henderson County Sheriff's Department apparently is still involved, but they haven't said a peep about anything. But you can look up that case too, Sebastian Rogers. Very strange. Sunday night, dinner at Texas Roadhouse. Mother says they went home. He went to bed at 9. She heard a bump in his room at 10. We call BS on that. She tells him to get to sleep. She wakes up 6 a.m. to go get him for school, and he's not there. That's it. Apparently left his shoes behind, but again, that's what the mother says. And he just disappeared. That's it. Nobody's seen nothing. Hasn't been seen since, February of last year? Yeah, okay. Very strange, but Sebastian Rogers, we will continue to look into that situation. Now, this is a 22-year-old. This has been sent to us a couple of times. I'm not going to try to botch the last name here, but his name is Nick Frisch, okay? 22 years old, very strange situation. Now, people have been arrested in relation to a stabbing connected to this German tourist, okay? But there is no evidence that he's dead, and it's been like 2 years now. And so you can look up his name. His name is Nick Frisch. These poster is online. You can go to Facebook and look up his name, and you can find information about that case too. But listen, there's just so many. There are just so many that it's hard to keep up with. And of course, Zachary Bernhardt, who we continue to look into that case. The Mexico man you see on this screen has been identified, and he is not Zachary Bernhardt, but we like to have this up here because, by God, the resemblance is uncanny, right? But we've had to verify that the Mexico man is not Zachary Bernhardt. So we are continuing to look into this case. Now, we've had people wondering if, since we posted that the Mexico man wasn't him, was that it? Is there any more leads? Are you guys done? You can still go? Yeah, we're still going to go. We're not stopping. We are never going to stop looking for Zachary Bernhardt. At this point, we have it on good information that there are certain individuals that are following us. They're following the posts we do about him. They're following the information that we have about him. So just as the police would do, they're not going to release a lot of information to the public because they don't want people who are potentially involved knowing where they're looking next, knowing what they're doing next. So we have now had to cut off what we're doing in the search for Zachary because we know that there are people watching and listening. Okay. That's kind of what's happening now. When things get connected and there's a break in the case, we will definitely let you know. But we will let you know right now that we are not going to stop looking for Zachary. And if some of those people are listening right now, you can count on that. We will use resources, our time, our skills, other sleuths that are working with us, investigators will use whatever we have to. We will find Zachary and we'll get to the bottom of this case. Those people have gotten away with it for way too long. But no, we're not going to quit looking for Zachary. Would you give up on him? Would you give up on any of these children? Well, we never will. We never will either. So, all right. That's our missing kids segment for tonight. And Marie T says, I wouldn't trust ice cream trucks these days at all. Absolutely. I mean, it's just crazy. Think about that. I mean, 6-year-old girl, is trying to get ice cream with some other kids there. And this guy literally grabs her wrist and tries to take her. Like, what? My God. There should have been a parent with them at all times. And the thing is, if you guys remember, some of you remember that there was a second boy who was taken from Savannah Trace Apartments, which was the same apartments that Zachary Bernhardt reportedly disappeared from. And we say reportedly with quotes, okay? Because Our opinion is he never even was at the complex the night he went missing, but that's just our opinion. The second boy was kidnapped like a year later on New Year's Eve. He was found, okay, like miles north, about an hour and a half north. Thank you, God. But it was the same situation. The boy, 5 years old, playing in the park with a few other kids. This guy comes up. It looks like he has an ice cream truck. Asks the kids if they want ice cream, right? This one child, 5-year-old, went up to the truck, and the ice cream man, quote unquote, asked him if he had any money. He said no. The kid runs home to his apartment, grabs money, comes back, gives the guy money, and gets handed ice cream by the guy. And then the guy grabs the boy, pulls him into the freaking truck, and takes off. And the despicable, horrible, evil things that this man did to this 5-year-old boy. He was lucky to be alive. He has since passed away. He has unalived himself. He was traumatized ever since that day. And we have communications with his mother, very sweet lady, and she holds those regrets, believe me. And you know what she said? She said, they used to go to the park all the time. There were 3 different security agencies that were doing security for the complex. Like, you would think that it was safe. And it was just the fact that this person rolls up with a pickup truck that was kind of converted to look like an ice cream truck, and he grabs one of these boys. You can't let your kids out of your sight now when it comes, not even for an ice cream man, okay? Or an ice cream woman, for that matter. So it's an old trick, but it's still being used. And parents need to be aware of that. All right. Here's some good news, though. And we shared this one other time before, and we're going to share it again. Why? Because there are a lot of people that continue to say, Zachary's dead. Zachary would have showed up. People just go to that default because they think after a certain amount of time, they're either dead or they would just pop back up and say, here I am. I'm back. Come on, man. It doesn't work that way. There are so many things that happen to these kids, especially if they've been trafficked. And Clearwater Police believes that Zachary may have got put into sex trafficking. Just try to imagine the unspeakable things that they were made to do and had to go through. Okay? If they make it out alive, it's a miracle. But they come out of that with shame and guilt and trauma and possible drug use. There's so many reasons why a child who has grown up after been missing for a while doesn't just pop up and say, yep, here I am. Come on. But we will tell you that after 20 years, after 25 years, after 30 years, and in this case, which we're about to show you, after 32 years, kids can be located. This is why you never stop looking until you get concrete evidence. And that's what we've said about Zachary or even Sebastian, the 2 cases we're looking into right now. Until we get concrete evidence that they have passed, then we will continue to look because they deserve it and justice needs to be served. But this man right here, how about knowing that that something's not right with your family, wondering if you were adopted or what happened, something's not right, and you start searching around, and then you find yourself on a missing kids website after 32 years. That's exactly what happened with this situation right here. And we're going to show it to you. We'll be right back.
A year ago, a Philadelphia man clicked on a website for missing children and found a picture of himself that sent him on a search to unlock the secrets of his past.
People magazine first brought his emotional journey to our attention. Terrell Brown is here to pick up this story. Terrell, good morning.
Erica, Charlie, good morning to you both. Steve Carter always knew he was adopted, but when he got older, he started to wonder who his biological parents were. That curiosity and a simple web search took him on a journey that would change his life. And even today, there are parts of his story that remain a mystery. Carlina White was kidnapped as a baby from a Harlem hospital nearly 25 years ago. When police announced that not only had she been found, but she had solved her own kidnapping, the case made national news. Steve Carter was watching, and it got him thinking. While he's always been happy with his adoptive parents, something never felt quite right.
Just recently, it got more to the point where, wow, I really wonder who my birth parents are.
Carter knew he was adopted from a Hawaiian orphanage when he was 4, but his birth certificate was created almost a year after his birth, and he's labeled half native Hawaiian.
I don't really have many of the features of a native Hawaiian.
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. I mean, there are a couple, but it's very far and few between.
On a hunch, he went to the website missingkids.com and searched the database. He looked through pictures of children reported missing in Hawaii in the past 34 years. And then you see a picture. Who is it?
My first thought was, oh my God, that's me.
The picture is an adult composite of what Marks Panama Barnes, a 5-month-old missing baby, would look like at 26 years old. This is Steve Carter at 34 years old. Their birthdays, 1 day apart. Their birthplaces, identical. Carter emailed the picture to his adoptive mother.
And she's like, oh my God, that's you. I was like, that's what I thought. And she's like, but it can't be you. There's no way you could have been missing at 6 months and we'd be able to legally adopt you at 4.
Carter called Honolulu
yes,
police and the department set up a DNA test. Nearly a year later, it was proven. Marks Panama Barnes is Steve Carter.
And that's when it really started to sink in that I've got another family.
A family with a mystery. Carter learned his biological mother disappeared with him in 1977. She changed his name, his birthday, even the race of his father. When Carter's biological father reported mother and son missing 3 weeks later, police couldn't connect the dots. Carter would end up in an orphanage, his biological mother in a psychiatric hospital. She later vanished without a trace. To this day, do you know where your biological mother is?
No one does.
But Carter did find his biological father. In a small town in Northern California, Mark Barnes remembers the feeling of hearing his son's voice for the first time since he disappeared more than 3 decades ago.
He introduced himself over the phone, and I was absolutely positively thunderstruck and amazed. And we just sort of, in an hour conversation, tried to catch up on 32 years.
Barnes says Carter's biological mother would often leave with him, but always return. Although he never stopped searching for his son, he wishes he reported them missing sooner.
Not one day went by when he wasn't in my thoughts.
Carter hasn't seen his father or any of his newly found blood relatives in person. It's still too soon. In the meantime, he's piecing together his childhood, a cold case closed, and one of the longest missing child cases in U.S. history solved.
Is that incredible? You see, this is why you never give up hope. 32 years. And, you know, they mentioned something in there where the adoptive mother was like, there's no way that could be you. I mean, there's no way you could be missing and then we would adopt you. I mean, that's not even possible. Yes, it is. That's one of the theories behind the Zachary Bernhardt case, that there was a black market adoption, which simply means that somebody could get false documents, false birth record, change the date of birth by a day or two, change the name, and it can look all official with a stamp and a seal, and that can be used to get identification, and there you go. Somebody's living under an alias. Unfortunately, you can do that. Highly illegal, highly wrong, but it happens all the time. And this person was missing and somehow ended up in the foster care system, and they never knew it. Imagine that. And it turned out that his family was behind it, which is a good time to remind you that 97 to 99% of kids that are abducted by somebody that the family knows or a friend of the family. Okay. Very small percentage, 1 to 3% are complete strangers. So when a child goes missing, that's why the police always need to look at the family first and really look at the family. In fact, we were hoping at some point the police would look at the family again in the Zachary Bernhardt case. Not accusing anybody of anything, but come on. Look at the Sebastian Rogers family. Talk to that mother. Grill her some more because she was the last one to see him. Right? I mean, it always comes back to family, but praise God that after 32 years, this man found himself on a missing kids website and is now reconnected with some of his family. That's an encouraging story that should give hope to anybody out there. And this is why we never give up, and you shouldn't either. All right. How about Roblox? Let's get into this real quick. Now, again, parents, we need to talk. Guardians, we need to talk. Why are there still 100 million kids under age 13 on Roblox? That's what we'd like to know. Why? Maybe they just haven't seen the news. Maybe they just haven't seen the warnings. Maybe they don't know about the lawsuits. And the girl that was kidnapped by a predator who she met on Roblox. Maybe that's what it is. Or maybe they're just not paying attention.
News alert now. More red flags surrounding Roblox. A teenager arrested in Marion County for allegedly directing children to perform sex acts. Detectives say he was communicating with them through that popular video game. Fox 35's Matt Trezza is joining us live now. So, Matt, you spoke to Florida's Attorney General who's investigating that game.
Yeah, that's right. And one of the things that this case highlights is just how exposed young people are to Roblox. The company says they have about 80 million daily users, and about 40% of them are under 13 years old. This is video of Marion County deputies arresting the 17-year-old. They put the cuffs on him and booked him into the county jail. Detectives say he coerced children into recording sexually explicit videos of themselves and their younger siblings and sent them to him. They say some of the children involved were as young as 8.
When these people communicate with our children and they say these things and they direct them to do this and that, or to, take pictures of themselves, or to engage in non-consensual sexual activity with siblings, like was done here. All of this can be harmful to our children.
Investigators say the teen, whose name and face we aren't releasing, would find his young victims on the popular gaming app Roblox. Then he'd eventually move their conversation to private text or server messages where the exploitation would happen.
Discord.
They say he tried to cover his tracks by deleting some of the messages and videos, and the teenager was busy, allegedly interacting with 4 or 5 children per day for more than a year.
In my work dealing with predators on the internet, I've dealt with quite a few. A lot of them have an incredible amount of time, and they develop a horrible skill set of predation, and they actively work on these things a lot.
Florida's Attorney General James Uthmeyer's targeted Roblox, issuing a subpoena against the company to reveal more about their usage statistics, marketing strategies, safety protocols, and official correspondence. He says parents also need to know what their kids are doing online.
This is horrific.
Thank you.
It's dangerous. I think it's a wake-up call for parents. You need to know what your kids are doing online, and you need to understand that there are very dangerous people at the other end of the computer or the phone pretending to be other people.
Parents say it's scary who could be out there trying to exploit our children.
When they're playing games, gaming is all entertainment and fun, but we don't want any predator out there to try to talk to our kids or, say bad words.
Sheriff's Office says Roblox has been working closely with them on this investigation. They're also asking any other parents of potential victims to please reach out to the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Reporting live, Matt Trezza, Fox 35 News.
Yeah. Oh, they're working so closely with law enforcement. They want nothing better than to keep your kids safe. But yet, somehow, like on pedogram, aka Instagram, it can't pick up the algorithm. The algorithm they have can't pick up sexual predators. It can't identify grooming. It can't identify when there's an older person talking to a younger profile. It can't pick up that. But, their most important thing is to keep kids safe. And Roblox says the same thing. And TikTok says the same thing. And the school system says the same thing, that, oh, man, our first priority is to keep your children safe. Uh-huh. Sure it is. Then you need to be doing more. But listen, as we've said, you can't rely on technology to keep your kids safe. It can assist, like we've talked about MM Guardian, we've talked about AirDroid, Bark is another great parental control monitoring system. There's so many great ones out there, and they can assist you in keeping your kids safe, but nothing's going to replace you, the parent, you, the guardian, from doing your job to protect your kids. That's your number one responsibility, is to keep your kids safe. And we're just getting sick and tired of hearing about stories where parents have screwed up, and because of that, their kids have been abused or their kids have been kidnapped and groomed because parents and guardians aren't paying attention because they're too busy doing other stuff. Over and over again, we hear about this. And it doesn't have to be that way. Gotta take a breath. How about one more warning for Roblox? And we'll move on.
This was promised, but not yet delivered. Tonight, 8 on your side has information that every parent needs to hear. Good evening, I'm Keith Kate.
And I'm Stacey Scheibel. Thank you for joining us.
With the holidays quickly approaching, your children may be asking for virtual currency for online gaming.
Roblox has exploded in popularity among kids and tweens, but
predators.
Recent reports have sparked calls for that platform to do more to protect its young users. Investigator Brittany Muller joins us live in studio with a warning for parents.
Stacey, Keith, Roblox had more than 68 million daily users last year. The online gaming platform says it plans on stopping kids under the age of 13 from directly messaging other gamers. But parents, you should know those measures have not been implemented just yet.
No, of course not.
Sheriff's investigators in Pensacola stumbled on a disturbing case of alleged child abuse in October. Deputies say a 2-month-old was hurt when a 10-year-old girl intentionally dropped the baby on a tile floor. Detectives later arrested 36-year-old Tara Sykes. They told the girl, quote, various methods to kill the infant while messaging on Roblox, the popular video game platform.
I just can't wrap my head around it. It's to say it's disturbing is the least of my thoughts on this situation.
Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons says Sykes also instructed the girl to kill her foster parents by, quote, cutting their throats with a knife while they were asleep and to burn down the home by dousing bed sheets with aerosol spray. Fortunately, the girl did not go through with Sykes' instructions.
You don't know who's there and who they're talking to. They can be saying they're 18 years old and they're 35, 40, 50, whatever.
Now, parents and grandparents are voicing their concerns that not everyone on these popular online platforms is there just for fun.
Luckily, it's not the majority of people aren't predators out there, but there are some. So you do have to talk to your kids about it and keep them aware. I wish there were more. I don't think that feature needs to be there.
A recent report by Bloomberg highlighted examples of inappropriate contact and content on Roblox. The creators of Roblox have defended the platform, saying the safety of children who use Roblox is always a focus vowing to introduce, quote, significant updates to parental controls. The company says users under 13 will need parents' permission to access certain chat features. Those under 9 will need permission to play anything labeled moderate content. And parents will be able to monitor communication between their child and other users. So while these changes are in the works, they aren't in effect just yet. Roblox says they'll be implemented by March.
All right, well, those changes do sound promising, but what's the best advice, I guess, for parents until they go into effect?
Stacey, great question.
Get your kids
Online
off of there.
safety experts say that parents should be asking their kids for their login information, going in and making sure they're doing periodic checks to make sure everything's okay and nothing inappropriate is happening.
You just almost have to assume the worst and then protect against that best you can. Thank you, Brittany.
Unbelievable. We have to remind you that look at these 2022 stats. Okay. Now this is old, right? And it's funny because we're looking for 23, 24. Okay. We won't have 25 stats yet, of course, but let's look at the 2022 stats. Now, not only are we talking about the ice cream truck situation, a 6-year-old girl almost kidnapped by this fake ice cream man, right? Because parents weren't walking with the kids down the road to the ice cream truck, which unfortunately you have to do now. Okay. Now, Roblox, we know. Snapchat, we know there's lawsuits against them because predators have been connected with kids. We remember the story from Pedogram, aka Instagram, who, by the way, suspended our account. We mentioned that earlier. because they said we were not sexually exploiting, but exploiting minors. Yeah, actually, we're trying to protect them, you stupid pedogram. But anyway, we saw the news articles where their algorithm was actually connecting PDF files and groomers with kids. Okay. Now you want, on top of all that, let's look at the school system. We know 300 teachers have been arrested so far this year. Okay. But look at these 2022 stats. Fox News reported that nearly 350. Okay. This was in 2022. Now we're over 300 now, and we're not done through the year yet. We're only not about halfway through. But 2022, 350 K through 12 educators were arrested on child sex crimes in 2022, averaging almost one arrest every day. This data from Fox News Digital indicated that 262 out of the 349 arrests involved alleged crimes against students. Unbelievable. And of course, it says, while there not be an exact count of all arrests in prior years, this information does highlight a disturbing trend of educators being arrested for serious offenses. What types of offenses? Well, child sex crimes. A significant number of teacher arrests involve child sex crimes, including grooming, child pornography, and sexual abuse. Other offenses. Some teachers may be arrested for other offenses like drug possession, theft, or assault, although data on these specific offenses for 2025 isn't readily available. And do we see what's happening? Does anybody see that there is a conspiracy, if you want, a trend, a coordination? I mean, geez. Unbelievable. Who's in the chat? Lexington Felix, good to see you out there. We just got a pop-up that said our connection's been lost. Let me know if you can still hear me out there. Anna's in the chat. Good to see you, Anna Mayo. You're awesome. We appreciate you too. Glad everybody's out there. And all of you watching on Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook right now, please let me know if you can still hear me out there, because we did get a connection saying that our connection was lost, but hopefully we're still on. That would be a really good thing if someone can let me know out there. Says you're good. All right. Thank you, Lexington. Appreciate it. So you see what's happening. There's a coordination here with these people. I mean, there's a whole network of PDF files and groomers and worse out there who are coordinating to harm our children. And listen, it's not difficult for them, right? They just go right to where the kids are. If they hear that something popular is happening, you know where they go? To the thing that's popular. And that means parents and guardians need to also go to the thing that's popular and monitor what their kids are doing on the thing that's popular. Remember Pokemon Go from years ago? Remember how crazy Pokemon Go got? And it was like kids were just, all over the place, roaming the neighborhoods, trying to capture Pokemon, which didn't even exist. But it was crazy, right? And they were going to these Pokestops. And then they found out that PDF files and predators were creating Pokestops, and it was bringing the kids right to them, for crying out loud. And parents were like, oh, they're just playing Pokemon Go. It's innocent. It's fun. No. Wherever the kids are going, parents, guardians, you need to go too. This is enough of letting these people get away with hurting our children. There's no more excuses, okay? I'm too busy. What, to keep your kids safe? I don't have time. I don't know how. The information is available. We bring it to you every week live and every day on social media. Sextortion. We were talking about sextortion. This is what's happening right now, okay? We brought you the case of a 16-year-old that unalived himself last year. There have been many, many more since that time. And we want to bring you a case of this young man here who is no longer with us because groomers, predators, posing as young females are reaching out to boys, and they've got the complete profile, ladies and gentlemen. They've got pictures, videos that they pulled from somewhere else. They're chatting up these teenage boys. So they think they got a girlfriend. Eventually things get hot. You know what I'm saying? With the teenage hormones and everything. The groomer, the predator, gets the teenager to send a photo or a picture. And then they turn around and they say, now you owe me money. I'm going to expose you. I'm going to put this out all over social media. Your parents are going to see it. Everyone at school is going to see it. Everyone on your football team, your baseball team, your sports team is going to know what you just did. They're going to see what you look like, and you're dead. You better pay me money or I'm going to do it. And these teenagers, I don't have the money to do it. Well, too bad, because if you don't pay me, your life is over. And these teenagers end up unaliving themselves because of this. Now, these conversations happen usually over a period of time. But again, with the right software, with the right parental monitoring, you could have keyword alerts that would be set up, like we use with MM Guardian and AirDroid. So if there's any kind of keyword alert that's spoken about in a message, parent gets notified right away, and they can intervene before something crazy happens. But you got to take those steps. Let's look at the story of this precious young man who unfortunately is no longer with us.
If there's a teenager in your life you even think you care about, you need to listen to this because it could save their life. It's the evening of February 28th, 2025, and 16-year-old Eli Heacock is in his bedroom texting with his mother about plans for the next day. Just an hour later, Eli's twin sister would find him on the ground suffering from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Now, Eli was your average high school sophomore in Glasgow, Kentucky. He was a total green flag. His mom said every now and then he would ask to go buy flowers and pass them out to the community just to make people feel good. He was responsible. He was caring. He had friends. He suffered from no mental health issues. He was just a good kid. After finding him, his family called 911 and rushed him to the hospital where he died from his injuries. Both local and federal investigators were looking into what happened to Eli, and before they left the hospital, they knew he was a victim of sextortion. Sextortion starts when a predator reaches out to a victim on social media. They'll try to get the victim to send them pictures, sometimes sexual, sometimes just a selfie, and other times they don't need a picture. If the victim sends them a sexual picture, their work is done. If they get a selfie or take any picture off the internet, they can use AI to make the pictures look extremely inappropriate. They'll then demand money from the victim or threaten to post these pictures on social media. In Eli's case, it took just 45 minutes to create such a panic in his mind, he thought the only option was to take his own life. Eli's predators told him if he did not send them $3,000, they would release these AI-generated pictures of him or hurt his family. God bless Eli. He took the only money he had, $50, and sent it to the predator, who told him it wasn't good enough. He then texted his best friend asking if he could borrow money. His best friend didn't know what was going on and sent him all he had, which was $8. Convinced within 45 minutes that his life was literally over, Eli took his own life. And if you think Eli is special, he is not. He's one of thousands of kids going through this torment. Listen to these stats. In 2022, 10,731 cases were reported. In 2023, 1 year later, 26,718 cases were reported. Please talk to your kids. Let them know if this happens to them, it's okay to talk to you. They're not going to be in trouble. There are websites that can help, and I will link one below.
Unbelievable. $50. That's all he had. That's not enough. You need to send me $3,000 or your life is over. And if you think that he just happened to jump on social media one day and somebody chatted with him and within like 5 minutes he sent the picture, you're sadly mistaken. Guaranteed there was a conversation, a grooming going along for a little while first. And again, could have been stopped. But again, parents don't pay attention. They don't think it's going to happen to their kid. There's a Facebook page called Not My Kid. Look it up. It's really good. We've used content from them before. Not My Kid. Let me tell you, because that's the belief out there. It's not my kid. Not going to happen to my child. They're too good. They'll always tell me. They won't do anything like that. I've taught them and they promised me. It's very heartbreaking and very sad. promising individual, life is over. And this is happening. And those stats, Marie said, the stats blow my mind. Absolutely. The jump from 1 year to the next, right? You had 2,000 cases and then you had 26,000. Now, what does that tell you? It tells us that these predators, these sextortionists, they know that parents are not monitoring what their kids are doing. They know this. And so it's a free-for-all for them. And this is why we say, parents and guardians, we need to talk. What the heck are you doing? And we're talking about the parents and guardians that are not paying attention, not the loving, caring ones that are passionate protectors, like a lot of who watch this show. We're hoping that this live stream is reaching someone who goes, I never really thought it was that bad. I'm going to start looking into it right away. Yes, please. You could be saving your child's life. But the excuses need to stop. I don't have time. I don't know how. Never happened to my kid. Will you stop it already? It's happening a lot. It's very frustrating. I'm going to share something with you here. This is from a page on Facebook called Parenting Safe Children. Very, very good. Follow them. Parenting Safe Children. It says children should not have to live their lives thinking about protecting themselves from abuse. Of course, it's important for them to learn some protection skills, but the responsibility of keeping them safe lies on adults. Fortunately, there are lots of actions adults can take regularly to protect their children. This Parenting Safe Children, this lady says, when I have spoken with men who have abused children, they tell me who appears most vulnerable to them and what parents and caregivers can do to protect their children. Number one, caregivers who are uneducated about CSA. The predator said, we're really good at what we do, so do whatever you have to prevent me from crossing your barriers. That's what a predator said. You got to become educated. Number two, caregivers too uncomfortable to speak up. Predator said parents would have no problem interrupting a stranger with their child, but they are uncomfortable speaking to Uncle Joe. Remember, more than 88% of the cases of kids that are abused by someone who's in the family or someone the family knows. It's not a stranger. Number three, caregivers who don't recognize when a boundary is being crossed and don't communicate boundaries on behalf of their children. This predator said the kids that I abused were all seeking love. I would shower the child with gifts, special treatment, and attention, and painstakingly move toward the moment when I could gain compliance and cross the line. This is what the predators are saying. Parents need to understand the grooming and intervene. Communicate your children's boundaries to everyone who spends time with them. Now, Parenting Safe Children has a workshop coming up. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute, where they discuss all these things in more depth. I believe it's a Zoom. It's online. Some of the topics are, would your child know what to do and say if a peer touched them inappropriately? Do you know what questions are important to ask before hiring a babysitter or having your child babysit for another family? Do you know what questions to ask your children's youth organizations and schools about their policies to keep children safe? These are all important things. So Parenting Safe Children on Facebook, check them out. They said, do you want to continue talking with your children as young as toddlerhood and through adolescence about their bodies, boundaries, consent, age-appropriate sexual development, and body safety? Do you sometimes wonder how to answer their questions about bodies and sexual development? Do you want to keep them safe from unwanted touch from peers and adult caregivers? Do you ever wonder how to start a conversation with other adults about these important topics on behalf of your children? Well, they have a Parenting Safe Children workshop, June 18th and June 25th. It's done in two parts from 8:30 to 11 Mountain Standard Time. And it's via Zoom, so anyone, anywhere can join. You see the website right up there, ParentingSafeChildren.com. Just click ParentingSafeChildren.com. Easy to remember. They have plenty of topics. I know there is a cost to this, but you can go onto their website, okay, ParentingSafeChildren.com, and find out about it. Parenting Safe Children Workshop, keeping children safe from sexual assault in your community. June 18th and the 25th. Okay, she has 2022, but that's not correct. It's 2025. I wonder if they realize that. But check it out, ParentingSafeChildren.com. See, there's tons of education. There's tons of education, information out there available. There is no excuse now that says, I didn't know how. I didn't know how to keep my kids safe. No more excuses. No more. We take our kids, throw them into social media, throw the tablet in front of their eyes, put the phone in front of their face when they're like 2 years old so they can start watching Coco Melon or God knows whatever. And they get addicted to these devices. And the predators know that. They know that the majority of parents are tech sitting. They hire tech sitters. What are the names of the tech sitters? Oh, I don't know. Android, iPhone, smartphone, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. Nice names for the tech sitters, but they hire them out to watch their kids for them. And kids spend all their time getting addicted to these freaking devices. And the predators are like, awesome. The kids are, oh man, this is awesome. The kids are addicted to the devices. The parents are busy doing other things. We have full access to the kids. Dang, this comes back to parental responsibility. Gosh, and you have FBI warnings and sheriff's warnings and organizations out there screaming at the top of their lungs all over social media everywhere saying, parents, get involved. Parents, know the passwords to your kids' phones. Parents, know who they're talking to on social media. Parents, watch who they're talking to on their game systems. They're screaming it all the time, but yet the stats are going up of kids being abused and victims of sextortion and kids that are dying and being kidnapped. How is that possible? Because people are not paying attention. And it needs to stop. Share this with somebody who you think may not be keeping an eye on their children. Send them this link. And talk with them. Encourage them. Let them know the dangers that are out there. Let them know about our website, protectyourchildren.org. Tons of great information there for them. More has to be done. And the dark side of social media, we shared this before, but it's worth showing you again. It's only a minute. Check this out. This is how kids respond when a parent tries to take that device out from in front of their face.
Have you ever seen a child react like this after a phone or tablet was taken away from them?
What? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
No, not right now. Mama, I'll bring the iPad back later, okay?
He's just always in his own world. He really quiet for real, unless he know you.
Kids who were born at the same time as the iPad in 2010. Kids who at 8 years old already had their first phone. And they're the only humans in the history of the world to have grown up with a gadget as a babysitter.
Exiting.
Mama, bring it back, okay?
I mean, some of these kids haven't even experienced what it's like to get dirty and play outside with neighbors. They literally cannot comprehend a life without social media.
They can't comprehend a life without social media. And the predators know that. You see what's happening here? Yes, the responsibility is falling square on the shoulders of parents and guardians. These predators, sextortionists, groomers, kidnappers, evil scum, do not have victims unless they're getting past the parents and the guardians who are supposed to be protecting the kids. Something else you need to look out for. Now, look, we've talked about this guy. He's on Instagram. We'll have to refollow him from another account since they suspended our Protect Children account. The account is Real Nate Webb. He's a school counselor. And this guy, man, I'm telling you, he does a fantastic job on educating parents about the dangers that their kids are facing when it comes to predators and a whole host of other things. You can follow him on Instagram, Real Nate Webb. Check this out. This is unbelievable.
My name's Nate Webb. I'm a school counselor, national speaker, and I want to help you raise resilient kids. You know, there are dozens of different Vault apps within the App Store. These apps give the appearance of a useful tool, like a calculator, for example. But they're actually a vault for secret things that kids don't want their parents to see. So if a kid has something to hide and they know that mom and dad are going to go through their photos, they're going to go and put it in the Vault app instead. And if you're curious if your child has one of these apps on their phone, just make your way to the app drawer and type in Vault in the search bar and see what pops up. Hopefully nothing, but there might be something. And then you have something to talk about. My name's Nate Webb. I'm a school counselor, national speaker, and I want to help you raise resilient kids. You know, there are dozens of different Vault apps within the App Store. These apps give the appearance of a useful tool, like a calculator, for example. But they're actually a vault for secret things that kids don't want their parents to see. So if a kid has something to hide and they know that mom and dad are going to go through their photos, they're going to go and put it in the Vault app instead. And if you're curious if your child has one of these apps on their phone, just make your way to the app drawer and type in Vault in the search bar and see what pops up. Hopefully nothing, but there might be something. And then you have something to talk about.
See that? This is what the technology is doing. All right, Anna, you have a great week. Glad you were here. Thank you for being here. Anna says, I got to go. But look for those apps. And you've heard this before so what he's saying is basically there might be an app on your kid's phone that says calculator or camera. And you think, I don't have to check the calculator. I have to check the camera. But really, it's a Vault app where kids can hide photos. Maybe, conversations with groomers and predators. Maybe some other really illegal or inappropriate stuff. They hide them in these. So what he was saying is, like, you just scroll to where the apps are and type in Vault, and you will see if there's any there. I mean, think about it. This is what these groomers are doing. They're using technology to help kids hide what they're doing from their parents. Hello, Snapchat. With locked folders and disappearing messages. Why in the world should any kid be on Snapchat? Oh, well, they have really cool filters and you can make little bunny ears and cat whiskers. Isn't it adorable? Yeah, really? Really? That's what it is? So they can get a bunch of likes from predators? And in the meantime, they're communicating stuff that they shouldn't be and seeing what they shouldn't be, and it's disappearing so you can't see it, mom and dad and guardian out there? Yeah, that's worth it. Get your kids on Snapchat right now so they can make funny photos and use funny filters. Because that's what's important. Real Nate Webb on Instagram. He's got one more warning for you. And this one's about Discord. Oh, yeah. Very popular among gamers.
Using Discord to exchange and view inappropriate content. My name's Nate Webb. I'm a school counselor, national speaker, and I want to help you raise resilient kids. Discord is an invite-only messaging app, meaning you can't join the message server unless you get an invite. It's a modern-day chat room with a locked door. Really easy for kids to send links of inappropriate content to each other and for them to view it. And there's no way for parents to see unless they're a part of the server. It's also a place where adults pretending to be kids initiate conversations of inappropriate nature with kids. Oh, and there's no community guidelines. Whoever made the server makes the rules, which means most of the time there are none. Just some things you should know if your kid wants to use it. We're using Discord to exchange and view inappropriate content. My name's Nate Webb. I'm a school counselor, national speaker, and I want to help you raise resilient kids. Discord is an invite-only messaging app, meaning you can't join the message server unless you get an invite. It's a modern-day chat room with a locked door. Really easy for kids to send links of inappropriate content to each other and for them to view it. And there's no way for parents to see unless they're a part of the server. It's also a place where adults pretending to be kids initiate conversations of inappropriate nature with kids. Oh, and there's no community guidelines. Whoever made the server makes the rules, which means most of the time there are none. Just some things you should know if your kid wants to use it.
There you go. There's some more helpful information right there. And listen, Discord is very popular among gamers. If you have one of those children that are gaming all the time, chances are you probably do. You better believe that the game they're playing has a Discord server and they're part of it. Now, the good news is that Guardian and AirDroid and a host of other parental monitoring apps will monitor Discord messages for inappropriate content and pictures. See that? But if you don't want to put that on the child's phone, then you need to be randomly popping in there and going to their Discord. It's an app on their phone. Look at their messages, see who they're talking to, see what's going on. Because Discord, as Nate Webb was saying, the real Nate Webb on Instagram was telling you, there are no community guidelines. Whoever creates the Discord server is the one who makes the rules, which usually means there is no rules. Now on Discord, messages can go back and forth, pictures go back and forth, videos can go back and forth, all outside of the view of the parents. So, you know what? Now you know. He has great content on his page. He talks about how kids are chatting up with complete strangers. You ready for this? On Google Maps. We didn't even know this. Apparently, there's a way on Google Maps where you can locate people and talk with them. People that are in and around you. Huh, who knew? But he has a reel about that on Instagram. Listen, Real Nate Webb does a lot of great stuff. Check out his content. You'll be totally educated. There's so much happening. And if you're joining us late, which we see a bunch of you are, this show will be available for podcast when it's over. You can find it on YouTube, Rumble, and on our Facebook profile, Protect Your Children, Inc., so you can catch up on what you missed. I will tell you that we are considering, I'm going to talk to Marie T about this, our co-director, considering possibly moving the time of this show. We are averaging maybe 5 or 6 live viewers, so clearly this Saturday night slot is not a good time for people, and we're trying to get more engagement, trying to get more points of view, more comments during our live show. The podcasts do very well, and a lot of people are watching after the fact, which tells us that this Saturday night is not a good time for people. So we're going to be reaching out, seeing what we can do, and see what people can, come to an agreement on, which might be a good time for people to be more active with these live shows. We put in the work, the time to put them together, to host them, the money, everything, and we're getting 5 or 6 people watching live. So that just tells us this is not a good time for people. It used to be for a while, right? So we may be looking at changing the time, but we will definitely keep everybody updated with fair advance notice through our social media and our live shows. So stay tuned, be looking for that. We got to figure out a good time where people can really join us. So if you want to help us out, you can do that. ProtectYourChildren.org, click on donate. And if you can't donate, then you can share content. I mean, listen, we have seen a great increase, a tremendous increase, a beautiful increase in the amount of people sharing our content on all of our platforms. No longer on Instagram because they suspended our account because they think we're exploiting children when we're actually protecting them from being exploited. But that's pedogram, aka Instagram. Okay. But on our other social media, people are doing a fantastic job sharing our content. It's really racked up the views and the awareness, and we're very thankful for that. But we will remind you that we are a 501c3 not-for-profit. Nobody here takes a paycheck, not one penny. So everything that we do to pay for web hosting, pay for the website maintenance, pay for the live shows, pay for guidelines to be printed out and mailed out to people, pay for conferences. There's a lot of costs associated with running an organization, as you can imagine. We've been around for 5 years. We're established. We're verified with the IRS. People have seen our content and what we do. So if you can help us out in any way, visit protectyourchildren.org. Click on donate to help support the mission and help us out today. Any amount is helpful. The costs are enormous. And as you know, with everything else, the costs are going up. If you can't afford that, we totally understand, because times are tough. But it doesn't cost you anything to click share or retweet or re-X or whatever it's called now. You can share content. You can start conversations with coworkers and neighbors. You can go to our website and print out. There's a flyer there with our QR code. You can print that out and you can leave that, bring it to your church, bring it to your place of work, leave it up, in the cafeteria and in the lunchroom. There's so much stuff that you can do that won't cost you anything. So do what you can, please, to help protect these kids. We got everything from ice cream men, people posing to be ice cream men and trying to kidnap little girls, to school teachers abusing kids, to sextortionists on Roblox and Snapchat and social media going after our kids. It is absolutely crazy out there. And the only thing that stands between these scum and our children is the parents and the guardians. It's you that stands in the way. Absolutely. And if there's any way that we can help you out, you have questions, you want to know how to talk to your kids, you want to know advice, send us a message. You can go to our Facebook page. You can go, all those links are on our website. You can go to our website itself, send us an email message. Listen, we'll help you out any way that we can, free of charge. We do background checks for people too. If there's somebody in your life, someone in your child's life, and you're thinking they might be something's not right here, you can reach out to us, click on the background portion of our website, send us the information that we need. There's some questions there. You don't need a social security number if you don't have it. If you do, it's helpful. But if you don't, that's not the end all. And we'll do free background checks, send you a confidential report if somebody's dangerous or not for your children. We will do whatever we can to help you keep these kids safe. All right. We're committed to doing this for 5 years now. We're continuing to move forward. But we do need your help in the areas of sharing, liking, talking to others, donating. Pray for us, especially helping us with these kids that are missing. A lot of you have been continuing to step up and give us information. You're sending us Facebook profiles. You're sending us saying, hey, this might be the person. Take a look at this. Hey, someone tagged this person over here. Don't you think that's kind of weird? Hey, send it to us. We will look into everything. Unlike the police, we will actually investigate every little thing and see if there's a connection somewhere. We are committed to doing that to help bring these kids home. So if you can help us out, please visit our website and do so today. That is the end of our show for this week. This has been Saturday Night Protection Live with your host, Christopher Gellison, the director, lead teacher of Protect Your Children Incorporated, and Marie T., who is in the chat, our co-director. She's awesome. We thank you for everything you do, Marie. And thank you to everybody else in the chat. Anna Mayo has been in there, Lexington Felix, Rising on Eagle's Wings, and a whole host of other people we see right now on Rumble, Facebook, and YouTube as well. Thank you for being here. Please share this live stream with people. Share it on your profiles. Get the word out. Again, it's not about views for us. It's not like, oh, we got a whole lot of views. We feel so important. No, this is about protecting children from this coordinated attack that's coming from every different angle. All right. And education, awareness, and parental involvement are the keys to protecting your children and other children as well. So please, please help us out any way you can and be vigilant, stay focused, and stay nosy. We always say that, stay nosy. Yes, it's your business what your kids are doing. They're going to cry about it. They're going to complain. Trust me. Parents, step up. Be the parent. Every single one of these cases we see, there have been red flags that were missed. And they were missed by parents and guardians who could have protected their kids, but they didn't. It's time to get educated, be aware, and start making a difference, because the predators are doing it. They're making each other aware. They know where to go find the kids. They know the parents aren't going to be paying attention. So it's time that we step up and we fight back in a harder way than we ever have before. So we thank you for being with us tonight. Visit our website, protectyourchildren.org, protectyourchildren.org. Take advantage of all the education resources that's available there. Follow us on social media so you can stay up to date with everything. And as we said before, with Instagram being suspended for some bogus crap, if something were ever to happen to YouTube or Facebook and you realize you're not seeing our posts anymore or something's up, go to our website, protectyourchildren.org. Send us a message. Send us your email. We'll add it to the list so we can stay in contact and let you know where we're at and keep you updated on the work that we're doing. Thank you very much for being here. Guys, have a great night. Be safe. Have a great week. And stay nosy and keep protecting. Good night.